Market open is on your screen. We're starting at 22,055 on the Nifty, and this is an absolutely flattish start. I mean, on the Nifty, there's nothing, no change at all. The Sensex is down 100 points, 72,550. That's about 118, 120 points lower. Mid-cap index is starting 90 points down. You've got the small-cap index, which will come up on your screen as well. And I think there as well, there perhaps is a little bit of sort of a red at this point in time. But the basic broad rates on indices are not very much changed. So Nifty is down at 22, back at 22,000, 46, 47 points lower. So start of a Monday, start of a new week as well. But stocks with Sonia. She's standing by. Sonia.
Well, thanks a lot for that. Let's take it straight to Tata Motors, because although the numbers were, slightly below street estimates, it's the management commentary and the caution on demand going ahead. No growth for JLR in FY25 on the EBIT margin front is something that's spooking the street. Multiple downgrades coming in this morning. So Tata Motors is down almost 4.5% right now, the big stock in focus. The company says they remain cautiously optimistic on domestic demand and they expect the first half of the year to be relatively weaker. Eicher Motors was not a bad performance, actually a strong performance in line with estimates. Perhaps the stock is seeing some profit taking as we speak. ABB India reported very strong numbers. So the revenue growth was driven by the electrification and the process automation segment. ABB India is your big stock right now, almost 7% higher now. And look at that, both volume as well as price action is what we're seeing on ABB India this morning. Let's take it straight to some of the broader market players. You have names like Kalyan Jewellers. Now, the numbers were strong, no two ways about that, but I think the revenue growth was fine, about 34%. I think some bit of disappointment on the margin front, and hence the stock is down about 1.1% as we speak. Piramal Pharma had a strong set of numbers, so 3.5% higher on this stock, picking up pace both on volume as well as on price action. Thermax had a strong set of numbers as well. Okay, first we have BEML, so let's get that on board. 2.5% higher on BEML. The margins up 400 basis points year on year. I'd like to see the chart of Thermax as well and how that one is performing this morning, because for Thermax, the earnings were quite strong this time around, but the stock is largely flat with a bit of a negative bias. Let's now take it to VIP Industries, because it recorded a double-digit growth for the first time in 3 quarters, but the street is still quite circumspect, so 5.5% lower here. Profit taking is what we're seeing on VIP Industries. Let's move to some of the pharmaceutical names. Lupin, Ekta was telling us that there's positive news where the US court has lifted the temporary restraining order on Mirabegron ER tablets. So Lupin is up about 1%. And in terms of earnings today, there are a couple of these, non-index favorites that are going to be delivering numbers. There's Zomato. There's also JSPL and UPL that will be coming out with earnings. But Zomato is the one in focus, right? Everyone wants to see what Blinkit has been doing, considering the strong performance there. Ahead of numbers, Zomato is up 1.5%. But for the market, this really is, the area to focus on. 90 points lower now on the index, given up on the 22,000 mark with a lot of ease, down 0.5%. And look at the advanced decline ratio as well. Now it's even Stevens, but looks like it's trending more in favor of declines, which is not a good thing. And that's something that the market is going to look at very closely. Nigel, back to you.
All right, thanks a lot for that, Sonia. Well, a few stocks that are in focus. Last week we had told you that ABB, the price action was telling you that the street was sensing something, here on Bazaar itself. And the stock has opened up with a gain of around 6.5%. Those numbers look good. We'll have to wait for the con call details. It's not cheap, but for the time being, flying away. There are a few earnings disappointments, though. Take a look at Newland Labs. That stock is down 10% as we speak. Big selling pressure out there. So sharp downtick is what we've seen on Newland Labs. I think on the margins, there was a bit of a disappointment. So Newland Labs has taken a knock. Bank of India as well is down nearly around 9% now. So big selling pressure being seen on that one as well. Stock pulling back big time. Union Bank as well is down close to around 3% as we speak. So quite a few calamities is what we're seeing. A couple of other notable losers in trade today. TCI Express is down close to around 5%. So it seems the street didn't like those numbers. So that stock is well lower. JTL Industries, the stock is down close to around 6 to around 7% approximately. We already have the cheat sheet with regard to volumes. But the numbers, in fact, are quite weak. So that stock is well down close to around 7%. And the sector itself had got hit, because tubes, the kind of demand that we're seeing is not as much as anticipated. Getting into elections, there is a bit of a slowdown. So JTL is lower. You have Apollo, APL Apollo as well. That's under some pressure. So that stock is pulling back a little bit to kickstart trade. Two gainers that were big gainers actually in Friday's trading session was Dr. Lal's as well as Polycap post their numbers. It's building onto the gains now. A couple of upgrades that are coming there. So Dr. Lal is up close to around 5%. Polycap as well is up closer around 4% as we speak. And Piramal Pharma, another one that we highlighted last week on Bazaar, that price action was telling you the street was sensing something. Volumes were massive. That's the other big gainer. So Piramal Pharma and ABB India, both of them, the top gainers in terms of result reactions. But otherwise, plenty of stocks reacting negatively.
Well, it's 80 points down on the Nifty. So 21,975 is where we are at on the index. And that's the rate on the Nifty. And it's telling you something, isn't it? We're down about, 1,200 stocks down and about 900 stocks which are higher. And it is looking a little troubled right now, the market overall. Let me look at a few other names before we go any further. So Bank of India is down 10%. It's the second largest volume-led loser across the board. So that's a sharp cut coming through there. And then Union Bank, of course, the management we will be speaking with a little later here on the program. It's down 3% right now. JSW Energy had a big move up, so I think it's just course correcting a little bit. 2%, 2.5% down right now. There is JTL Industries, which is down 9%. But I mean, I could look at more stuff. Volumes are down. Volumes are very low. Kalyan Jewelers, earnings 2% lower. Action Construction, stocks such a big performer, 4.5% down. Exide is down about 2.25%, but no volumes. VIP reported numbers, for example. VIP Industries, the luggage maker, down 5%. CAMS, of course, we spoke to recently, post numbers. That is also down. But no volumes on a lot of these names. Maybe things will pick up a little bit on the upside. UPL is up 4%, so 520 on UPL, very large volumes right now. And Lal Pathlabs, again, another company we'll be speaking with in just a bit, is up 6.5%. So 2,500 plus on Lal Pathlabs is what you have. There is Siemens, BEML, and Welspun Corp. All of them are up about 3.5%, 4% as well. And something like a Sharda Cropchem is up about 8.5% as well at this point in time. So 100 points down. On the index, it's not looking very good, but I mean, it is a vibrant kind of start, at least, to begin the day.